everybody. This is a great day that God has made. My main any can from a local dialect, no. Onyankopon adom so no. Ene yesan we shia bi our Focus Health Center. Besma Gina, the gentle entertainer. Se meja kunya we ya. Na enema e coach ko be my efa health no ho. Na se enema ehia sa wote. Na boa mo hu ha obetimi dare den nya asetena no. Obetimi edi hu djuma no de brel. Today on the health center, no, I'm actually going to have a discussion with a psychologist, and she is a she actually, and she's very beautiful. She's a UK-based lady. She's called Yaya Anipa, and she's actually. Let me start giving you a little bit biography of her. She's a psychologist. She's a counselor. She's a relationship expert. She's a life coach. She comes from the UK. But her name sounds something like a local name. We'll actually have a discussion about that. We'll be discussing more about psychological issues that's happening in Ghana, and then things about your relationship. Into what we feel. So, Nema will be a good relationship now, but more than any time you could. Now, many Yaya, better to come now when you're Nepuma Sibre. What I say. Right. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
You're looking beautiful.
You're not so bad yourself.
I'm not bad.
You're not bad.
Actually, not handsome, but I'm not bad.
You're handsome.
Oh, really?
When you say you're not bad, that means like you're good.
Really? Thanks for the compliment.
No problem.
Right. Yaya Anipa. The name actually sounds very local.
Yeah.
So where did you get this name?
I'm actually Ewe tribe. So you guys say Aigbe.
Oh, okay.
So I'm from Akachi.
Akachi?
Yeah.
So you are Aibeni?
I can speak Aigbe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you say how are you in Aigbe?
Fonama.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. How do you say thank you in Aigbe?
Agbe.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where did you learn this?
My dad forced me to learn when I was about 12 years old.
Where?
In the UK. So he just stopped speaking English.
Interesting. Oh, okay. And it actually helped you, right?
It did, because I had to figure out what he was trying to say. He just said, no. We used to come, and I just couldn't understand anything. Like now, how I can understand Tree. And he just said, okay, you have to at least know if someone's insulting you or complimenting you. So he forced me to learn.
Basically, at least insulting when it comes to our local dialect, when you start to learn, that's what we start with.
Oh, okay,
okay. So, which kind of insult did you learn in your Agbe dialect?
Like Kosia.
Oh, really? How do you say Kwasia in your local dialect?
They say Kosia. We say Kosia. Okay. I think you guys say Kwasia, isn't it?
We say Kwasia.
Yeah, we say Kosia.
Okay.
Ejimi.
What Jimmy?
Yeah, we say Ejimi.
Ejimi.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right. I think actually, we'll actually have a long way to go when we start keep on with this thing.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about Yaya Anipa, who is she?
I'm a psychologist, so I'm a manager in one of the firms that deal with more to do with like serious injuries and medical negligence. But for me personally, I just find the mind really interesting. So I like to talk about just life issues, things that we experience on a day-to-day basis. And with a bit of humor, because life sometimes is serious, so you need a bit of laughter in between.
Right. Now, my first question for you, looking at our life, the way we live our life, do you think, as we used to visit the hospital to check on our health and all that, do we actually need psychologists?
I think we do. I think here it's a bit different. In the UK, there's a lot of pressure. I think there's this misconception that the UK is fantastic, everybody's happy. We're not. You know, we've got cars on loans. You guys are lucky that you can buy a land and build something and it's yours.
Right.
We don't have that. Sometimes you pay for the house, but the land is not yours, and you'll be paying it for 25, 30 years. So those kind of issues, it's a lot of pressure.
Right.
So most of the time when you come to the UK and you see someone driving a Bentley, likelihood is not his. He's paying monthly for the Bentley.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then if you lose your job, there's different issues. It just piles on top of you.
Okay.
And we move fast. Everything's fast in the UK.
Right. Now, in Ghana system, let me talk about Ghana because that's where we're here. Okay. In Ghanaian system, as you're saying, things might be that easy for us, but you might see people out there looking very nice. But mentally, they might be having issues. They are actually fighting with certain things within them. As a psychologist, what are some of the situations that we find ourselves into that you would recommend an immediate attention for a psychologist?
I think financial issues is a major thing.
Okay.
You have to talk about it, or talk about it with family member or even your friends to see if they can help you, whether they can recommend a job, because finances, once they start to pile up, it's very hard to dig yourself out of it. And it sometimes leads to suicide.
Okay.
But that's what friends are for. That's what that's why we know people, to be able to recommend us for something. I think it's very important for us friends to not only be there in the good times, but to be there when someone else is suffering.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Most of the family in Ghana actually have family doctors. Some also have family lawyers and all that. As an expert, would you think it's proper for every individual, like a family, to have an assigned psychologist for the family?
I think so. I think before, in the olden times, that's what we had elders for, isn't it? Where you go to your elders to solve a problem. Now I don't really know what's happening with the whole elders thing. I think they're just dying off and no one's really replacing them.
At least when they're dying, people are growing.
True.
Right.
I think it's very important because when I was younger, I used to come to Ghana quite a bit, about 3 times a year, and I used to see things and question it. You know, the people on the street that they classify as mad, that person just went mad,
right?
And they just blame it on juju.
Yeah.
It's like, but when you start to speak to certain people, they're like, oh, he had a house and a car, and then suddenly he went mad.
Actually, has related issues. That
so it could have been just a mental issue and something just tripped, and that was it. Right. So I used to find that fascinating, how everybody just, instead of saying, oh, maybe there was a problem with him, and then he just went mad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's possible for it to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so now we are in a family right now, we should still stay in the family issues. Do you think, as an expert, what are some of the issues that can actually fight against the happiness in the family, and that can actually cause somebody to go mad in the family?
I think when family division is a big thing. Family division and jealousy.
Okay.
Sometimes, because we think someone is your family, they want the best for you.
Right.
It's not necessarily true.
Okay.
So once there's arguments in family and one person is trying to bring someone down, that's very stressful, especially if you live in the same house or close by.
Right.
It's just very constant.
Right.
So I think as a family unit, we do really well here.
Okay.
We do tend to have close-knit family, and I think it's important to just remember that and hold on to that as the years go by.
Yeah. Okay. Let me come with this example. There's this celebrity we have in Ghana. He goes by the name Funny Face. Over some few months, late last year till this time, he's actually going through a lot of trauma. With being arrested here and there, sending videos, insulting the security expert and all that. Do you think he's actually going through a psychological problem, or it's just him?
It depends. I mean, sometimes you could look at, is he doing it for publicity? Probably, but probably not. Okay. I think what we have to remember, he's also human. So, and he's been in the spotlight, and that can do a lot of damage where there's pressure. He's probably got financial pressure where he has to keep up with the Joneses. But the way he's moving, it does look real, that he's going through some sort of issue.
Right.
But when you reach that certain level, it's hard for example, if you were going through an issue right now, people are like, oh, what's happening? But because he's reached a certain status, I don't think it's easy for someone to just be like, oh, what's happening? You probably think he's above all of that. Okay. So that's why I said sometimes you can offer advice, but until they're ready, there's nothing you can do for them. Okay. Yeah, they have to be willing and ready to get some help. Yeah.
Right. So as an expert, what do you think he has to do now? Fine. Let's say take me as him, and you're advising me. Looking at what he's going through, being arrested here and there, having issues. I remember in one of his videos, he even said, somebody actually gave him 8,000 Ghana just to buy machines to entertain himself, to play music and entertain himself. As an expert, I am Funny Face. What advice would you give me?
He needs to put his phone down. Somebody needs to take that phone away from him so that he doesn't post all these crazy things. Because once it's doing damage to his probably future career, but he needs to take a step back from the media and work on himself. What is the main issue? If you've got relationship issues or marriage issues, concentrate on that first, before posting things. Posting things is very damaging. People are just interested in bad things all the time, and you're just feeding it all the time. So yeah, he needs to take a step back and focus on his private life first.
Right. Family, you're still watching Focus TV. This is the health center. And then, as the expert said, Funny Face actually need to move away from the media a little bit and try to take his time and then try to put himself together. Currently, we are also hearing say he has been actually advised by the police and as a court to be taken to the hospital to check for 2 weeks for a sound thing, and I think it's actually a good thing for him. Right, we're still here, but hey, don't forget to subscribe and then share so that your family and friends will also enjoy this kind of interview. It's very nice. Anyway, as a relationship expert, okay, this question has always been on my mind. Do we love for a reason or we just love?
I think we love for a reason. There's always a reason behind love. You can't just love, like if you like Vitamilk, like I've just drank now.
Right.
I like it because it tastes sweet. I don't just love it for no reason.
Right.
So when you meet someone, it's either their personality you love, their money you love, the way they walk, maybe the perfume they're wearing, but you can't just love for no reason. It's impossible.
Ghanaians, I mean guys and ladies of our time used to say, oh, I love you for no reason, I just love you. Because what if I say I love you for this reason and that thing is no more? It means I don't love you. And I always seem not to agree with them.
I love you for this reason. At least they're explaining the reason, but they will love you for a reason. So I think for me, you can't just love someone by just looking at them. There is something that they're offering you that you love, whether it's because they're very romantic, or they're providing you with financial benefit, or they just actually just check up on you. That's what you love, but it's never for no reason.
Right. Do people really show real love on Val's Day? No. Why?
Come on. Why do you need one day to prove that you love someone when there's 364 extra days in the year? No.
So you think love shown on Val's Day is actually irrelevant? It's
so irrelevant. I mean, it's kind of like showing your friends, oh, someone loves me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you actually don't agree to Ghanaians or the whole world about Val's Day being a love day?
I noticed yesterday it was celebrated a lot, and I'm thinking, wow, you guys, I saw matching outfits. And I was like, wow, just for Valentine's Day.
Right.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Oh, that's not how it is in UK?
No, matching outfits.
So you think Ghana is actually doing things out?
I was so surprised. I was like, wow, this is a lot.
Okay.
We've kind of, it's more mellow. We buy some flowers, it's more private. But here, like, people are trying to prove, like, I love my girlfriend, I love my boyfriend. Why do you need to prove to the world that you love your partner?
Okay. Okay. So you're against the fact that they're letting the public know. It should be a secret thing.
Not a secret thing, but if it's overly flaunted, it doesn't feel real.
Okay.
Yeah, because, for example, if your boyfriend loves you all the time and he doesn't get you a gift on Valentine's Day, would you be upset?
No.
Some people are.
Ghanaians will. Some people will.
But what about all the love that he's shown you before Valentine's Day?
This is a festive season anyway. Alright, family, you're still watching Focus TV, and then we are still having our discussion with Yaya Anipa, all the way from UK, who actually came down to Ghana just to talk to us and have interacted with us. Yaya, now back to the main issue, like crazy issues in Ghana, COVID-19. Okay. People actually find it difficult in putting on a nose mask and all that. Do you think it has a psychological implications? Why people don't see why they should put on nose masks?
They must love death. Because...
No, repeat that.
You must love death. Because if you see the way we are dropping in the UK, like you would see, people are just dropping. I mean, I can give an example. My mechanic, I saw him 2 weeks previously. He fixed my car, did my tires. And then I got a call from his brother 2 weeks. It was about 14 days later. He died.
Really?
Yeah.
Really took just 2 weeks?
2 weeks. But we were fine. You know, he fixed my car and even passes, MOT. And he died from COVID. So things are happening. But what I don't understand, these fashion masks, stop it. it says nose mask for a reason, but if you're not wearing it on your nose, it's not a nose mask.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've seen that a lot where people are, sewing their own and it's covering just their lips. But it's an airborne disease. It's not mouth to mouth. So it can still penetrate through
anyway. Now, don't you think education about COVID-19 is actually low? That is why people actually don't see the reason why they should put on a nose mask. But then forcing somebody to put on a nose mask and educating the person real on putting on a nose mask, which one is perfect?
I feel like the world itself teaches you about what's happening with COVID. You've got the Western world that is pretty much crippled. You've got the USA that's nearly 200,000 deaths just for COVID. Us 100,000+. So knowing these numbers, people should know. No one has to sit you down and say, hey, you're gonna die from this disease before you actually do something. Just prevent yourself. I've seen people on, the moto. There's 4 of them on a motor, no one's not wearing a mask. But then if you die, you said it's witchcraft. It's not. It's because you didn't put on a mask.
Is that witchcraft?
No.
Okay. Now, there's a message here I need to ask you. Somebody is saying that she has actually been with her husband for like 7 years now. Okay. And for the past, since 5 years within the period, from the 5th year, the husband actually been cheating on her. And then she's actually now thinking of divorcing. But people are advising her because she's to stay within that 2 years because of the kids they have. They have 2 kids. As an expert, would you also advise that she still stay under that crazy marriage? And hey, she has actually brutality. The guy has actually been brutalizing her with beatings and all that.
Okay.
What would you advise her she does?
Okay, I'm going to talk to you women to women. Get out. Leave the marriage.
Really?
If you hadn't said she was beating her, then I would say, okay, maybe you guys need to sit down and talk.
Right.
But violence, because that's never going to stop. Once he starts and it's continuous, it's not going to stop. And the reason why I said get out is because it depends if your kids can see this.
Okay.
If your kids are in the same house watching you being beaten by a man, they are going to be affected.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, don't you think that such a family also needs a psychologist to talk to?
Oh, absolutely. But I think the husband needs work by himself, first of all, before you even tackle them together. You have to solve them separately. What is your issue? What are you doing? What is your issue? And then once you tackle those two, then you bring them together. Because if you don't do that and you bring them together, you just be arguing. Yeah, and no psychologist wants to be in the middle of a domestic fight. Violence.
Okay, all right. Another one. He's a he anyway. He's actually sent a message from Nigeria. He says that, please kindly ask her, if let's say you have a woman who actually deny you from sex all the time, but yet demands for money from you all the time, and she claims she loves me, I don't see the love. Ask her, is there anything I need to do to gain love from her, or I should work hard for the relationship?
Some people don't enjoy sex. Some people don't think sex is all that.
Okay.
And let's be honest, it's about 5-10 minutes maximum sex. So you probably have to speak to her as to why she doesn't want to have sex with you. Okay. But she shouldn't be demanding things. It's not a business deal, but you give and take a little bit. Okay. She has to show you the love in response to what you do for her. Okay. I find that women do tend to take, but not give.
Why do women think taking proves love? Give me proves love.
You guys have spoiled Ghanaian women and Nigerian women.
Okay.
I think men have spoiled us to think that you guys are our savior. When you get married, everything, you guys have to do it. It's not the case. Okay. And I think they've been used to men always being taking care of them. So I always think that if you're working, I'm working, we split things, not 50-50, but you will work as a partner. And you guys, I think men have spoiled people in the West African world to say, I'll always take care of you no matter what. Even if you have a job, I'll always take care of you. But that's not the case. But who's taking care of you? You men, who's taking care of you?
Yeah, there's another question you need to answer for ladies.
I think it's important to remember that men are also human beings. Okay. I'm a woman, so I'm not bashing women. But
you're not bashing because you're a woman?
I'm not bashing women. I'm not saying women are bad because I'm also a woman.
So you're not saying that because you're a woman, but if you were supposed to be a man, you would have said it's bad.
No. What I'm saying is, for me, I think women will think, oh, why is she attacking us? Why is she saying women should do it? She's a woman, she should understand. No, I like to think that I'm fair. I think some girls just want to take in terms of they want to be complimented. Oh, babe, you look beautiful. Oh, babe, do you need this? But how many times do you compliment your man and say, oh, babe, look at the way you're dressed. You look handsome. We don't do that often enough. Right. And then when another woman starts to compliment your man, then you're like, hey.
But you
just did that one.
You do understand what I said, right?
I did.
Oh, you did? Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. So when was the last time you complimented your husband?
Every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All the time?
Yeah.
How'd you say it?
Like, oh, you look good. Where are you going? Who are you looking good for? It's just those little things. Okay. Yeah, just so that they feel that they matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. There's another crazy one here. Okay. How long do you think a good sex should last as a relationship expert?
It depends. It depends. It's passion.
Okay.
Yeah. If you say an hour, that's too much. Don't. Nobody's gonna lie there for an hour. You know, like a corpse being pounded. Are they?
An hour.
An hour.
Okay. I asked this question because most of Ghanaian guys or African guys think having long sex time with a woman actually call for love.
Really?
Yes. Or it actually make those ladies actually feel he is the real man.
Really?
Yes. And as a relationship expert, do you think it doesn't go that way?
No, it doesn't. Absolutely not. I think it's to do with the passion of what you feel in between that time. Sometimes the passion is so deep that it's quick, but it's nice. It's like, it's intense. But nobody wants to be, doing stuff for an hour and then at the end you're not even like getting your joy out of it.
Okay. Right. Family, you're still watching Focless TV on YouTube and Focless Media Production on Facebook. You can still subscribe and then share for your friends too. We are still here in the studio with Yaya Anipa, who happens to be a relationship expert, a psychologist, a counselor, and then a life coach, who is actually from the UK, and we actually still continue having a discussion with her. But she's UK based, right? She's a UK based, but she's a Ghanaian. She's a Ghanaian from the Igbe.
Volta region.
She's a Igbeni, right? She doesn't want to understand that fact, so Igbeni, but that's what she is. Focless Media Production or Focless Media Institute is a media school I'm actually recommending for you. So if you now person a journalist and I say we go into editing, video editing, camera handling, a Focless Media Production and a Focless Media Institute. Or more cool from a year Kumasi. For now, it's a good screen as number more than any more casa. So that's not Asgard Travel and Tour, Asgard Travel Consult, and so I saw you saying. So if you want to travel outside the country, to UK, to the US, to the Germany, across the globe, a Asgard Travel Consult. So we'll prescribe you already now. Person will advice and as a consultation. But money therefore Asgard was 0244 46 46 84. Now Asgard Travel Consult and you can come on. Right. I'm back. We are about wrapping up. Yeah. Some few lines of questions. We're about wrapping up. Let's come back to psychology expert. Okay. Now I'm putting this thing across. Let's just say. As a public figure like Funny Face, okay, do you think what he is going through, it is normal for everybody to go through that? And if it is yes, as an expert, right from the beginning of being a star, what are some of the measures we need to take as a star, as celebrities, so that it don't get there, or it doesn't get that bad as it's getting bad now?
I think with celebrities it's difficult because they start off and then suddenly, they're well known. Everything's at the tip of their fingers. They don't have to, struggle as they used to. So they're not grounded anymore. There's people giving them probably bad advice. And I think the only way to be able to maintain this is to remember all the people that you knew before you became famous. Those are the people that are going to keep you grounded, and those are people going to be more honest. But the people that, you know, you pick up while you're famous are probably just wanting you for a reason. They want you to, you know, promote them or do something for them, but they don't care about you as a person.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think being grounded is very important.
So you think their fans actually play a major role with their psychological thinking? Or
They feed on it. Obviously, he's probably reading all these bad things that is being said about him. So that can affect you, like it would affect me. That's why I said he needs to take a step back, just not even pay attention to social media and focus on himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. That's a good advice to Funny Face, right? I just hope that Amansba will just take it to him.
Yeah. I hope so.
You hope so, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. My final question probably might be my final question. As a psychologist, okay, Ghanaians, we are still on the celebrities because they actually are our main problem.
Yeah.
Our celebrities, okay, as we were saying, that everybody has a doctor and kind of stuff. Don't you think if a celebrity should contact you for that role, do you think it actually have to be one celebrity and one psychology to start taming them, advising them, training them on that aspect?
I think it's important to focus on mental health because it's probably the most neglected thing. People focus on money, people focus on fame, but when it comes to your brain, nobody really focuses on it until it goes bad. Okay. That's when you're like, oh, wait a minute, something's wrong. But if you maintain it and you constantly water it like a plant, then it's going to grow into, you know, something that people will admire. But if you don't, then it becomes something like this, where people are just watching you just, you know, deplete and just go from bad to worse.
Okay. Now, finally, before we wrap up, why do we need a psychologist?
The mind is a powerful thing. The mind is probably the most important organ in your body, and you have to nurture it. So I think it's very important. I think with mental health, everybody's had some sort of mental health issue, whether it's only for a day or an hour. There's been times where you can't even eat because you're suffering from a problem. That is part of a mental health issue. Yeah, for you to lose appetite because something's happened to you, that's serious. You can't even feed yourself, you can't bath yourself. So I think it's definitely the most neglected area of the body, but it's probably the most important.
Right. All right. Thank you so much for your time, and I've really, really enjoyed talking with you.
Same.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. If somebody actually wants to reach out to you, what are some of the handles they actually? How can they contact you, or where can they find you for questions as they are sending to me so that I can actually direct to you? Where do we find you?
Okay, so we've got my social media, which is Instagram. So you can at the Zen Ways. So it's at and then the Zen Zen Ways with an S on the end. Or you can try my website, which is www.thezenway.co.uk. And my email address is there, and you can contact me. And if you have any issue, I'll pass you across my number and we can discuss it on one-to-one basis. My number is there, so feel free to contact me, WhatsApp or a text, or even a call. If you're texting, just at least tell me what your name is, so that if I do call back, I'm like, hello, just tell me your name and I'll definitely get in touch with you.
Okay, that's so welcoming, and thank you so much. Now, because of COVID-19.
Yes, that's
nice one. All right. I hope to get you another time before you go back to UK.
Absolutely, right? I would love that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. I'll prepare for another thing, right? Okay. I was for you ready. Or the watch it. You ready. And the day you baby. This has been Focus Medical Center. This my name is Bismarck Jr. It's the Gentle Entertainer. Until then, same time next week is a bye.